Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the Director of Football Sabotage with Livorno. So in today's episode we are going to face Spartak Moscow in the Champions League, but we have suffered defeat in the league. So the game after the Benfica game was away from home against Chievo and we scraped through just about 4-3. Ponce got a goal for us and Weber got a hat-trick as well from attacking midfield where he has been playing due to Altaner's injury, but Chievo definitely made it a tight game. Pietro De Pietro got a goal from the 42nd minute and then they got a double in the 81st and 82nd to make it a really tight last 8 minutes. They had a disallowed goal in the 91st minute. Thankfully we did hold on and we got the 3 points. And then Bologna. Last season they beat us and we drew against them, I think that was it. And now this season, they've given us our first defeat already. Carl Wright did equalise for us in the 61st minute after they went ahead in the 11th minute, but they went back in front 1 minute later in the 62nd minute, and we could not get back in the game, and what was a hugely disappointing performance. We then played the first game against Spartak Prague in the Champions League that we'll play, and we won 3-0. Ralovic in the first minute getting a goal, Ponce and Weber getting goals as well. Weber's doing okay in that midfield spot, and I'm grateful for it because I think we would have been struggling without Altaner in the side. Next up was away against Brescia and we won 3-1. Zango, Weber and Ponce getting the goals for us here. Diego Cafagna picked up an injury in the 82nd minute and he is going to be out for about 3 months. So Belangioli is still at the club thankfully and he will become our backup right wing back. But if Ventroni becomes injured, we are in a bit of trouble. And in the final game before we play Spartak Moscow today, it was away from home against Cagliari where we won 3-1 once again. Pezzulo, Ponce and Ventroni getting the goals for us this time in what was a dominant performance. So after that set of fixtures, this is how the league table looks. We sit top on 21 points. Benevento were actually really dominating the league and they were top, but they got beat off Inter Milan 6-3 at home and eventually slipped to third place. So it looks like AC Milan, Benevento are part of the top 3 now. I would imagine Inter Milan will definitely come back into it. Juve have had an incredibly poor start so far this season, so it looks like it's going to be another struggle for them. So this is how we're going to line up for today's game against Spartak Moscow. Plizzari will start in goal. Zango and Petarada will be our centre-backs. Saavedra picked up a knock and I think he was out for a few weeks, so he has missed the last few games, but he should be returning shortly after this one. Ventroni and Vasilev as our wing-backs with Patrick, Carlwright and Pezzulo in the centre. Weber is going to get the nod ahead of Altaner in attacking midfield. He's been playing particularly well there and Altaner is just returning from injury, so I'll try and get him on at some point during this game, and Ponce and Ralovic will lead the line. Our old boy Perica Ivanovic is actually starting on the bench today for Spartak Moscow, so we'll see if he gets on the pitch, and I wouldn't be surprised if he made a difference if he did. He is a talented player who finally left the club in the summer. Highlight now, Carlwright with a free kick on the edge of the box. It is cleared by Spartak Moscow and it is a breaking opportunity, although actually they're getting a ton of space now. There's about 6 players there, but Patrick manages to intercept and save us a little bit. I think if they played the ball a bit earlier, we would have been in trouble. Vasilev picks up the ball from Petarada on this left-hand side. What a through ball that is for Ralovic. And Ralovic, you should be putting that in the back of the net, mate. No doubt about it. Ponce let it run on. And Ralovic had all the time in the world to put that in the back of the net. And we've seen him score so many of them, particularly from passes from Vasilev. And Ralovic, he makes up for it, though, by scoring a much more difficult opportunity. A great pass by Ponce to set him up in the first instance. What happens if does Ponce win the ball here? He does, and that's a great through ball for Ralovic. Going away from goal as well, that is a fantastic strike. His 8th goal of the season, and we are up 1-0. Highlight now, Ventroni with a throw in. I mean, who was that to, mate? He didn't even aim for one of our players there. Plizzari spreads the play to Ventroni back on this right hand side. Ralovic has come out wide to give him a hand. Carlwright to Weber. Vasilev comes to him on the left-hand side eventually. Ventroni's on the right. Ponce's back post. And Ponce heads just over. Ponce now with the ball in. Ralovic is there. He hits the bar. Oh my God. Spartak defending with their lives. And Ralovic could have probably had his 2nd goal of the game there. So we are fast approaching half-time. We are utterly dominating this match. Only 24% of possession for Spartak Moscow. All the chances going our way. But we're only 1-0 up. So we need to be careful. 52 minutes in and I want to get Altaner on. Weber's not having the best game in the world, so I feel no doubt in my mind that I want to get Altaner back in this side and back performing the way he was. Petterada with a long kick over the top, and Ponce has managed to bring it down brilliantly, and he gets the goal for the game. His 9th goal of the season. It was a bit of a weak first attempt. The keeper just parried it straight back to him, and he made no mistake with the second try. Rada just absolutely hoofs it over the top of the defence. Great first touch. Probably a poor first time finish, but he gets it at the second time of asking. 73 minutes in, and there's another highlight. Petterada at the back post after a Ponce free kick. He can't get it on target. So with 15 minutes to go, we'll make our final 2 subs. We're going to get Michael Young on in defensive midfield for Patrick. No, we're not. Why am I doing that? We're going to get Matt Solossi on in the centre of midfield, and we'll get Pizzulo in that defensive midfield role. And we will get Federico Di Marco some game time and sub Vasilev. And the time is just ticking away, and this is likely to be the final highlight. There we are. Livorno 2, Spartak 0. A little bit disappointing in terms of goals scored. We should probably have done a lot better for the sheer amount of domination that was in that game. But 3 points is 3 points, and that's all that matters. So we do sit top of the table in our group, ahead of Benfica on goal difference, I do believe. Or away goals in our tie, whatever it is. So we haven't run away with it. You know, Benfica were not slipping up despite the draw against us. So it might all come down to that home tie that we've got later on in the competition with them. But that's not what we're going to come back for. We are going to come back for the final group game of our campaign. Spartak Prague away from home. Our first away... we played away from home against Benfica. Just our second away from home game that will live come in this season's competition. Well, that's going to be enough from me. If you have enjoyed today's video, please consider leaving a like. And if you are enjoying my content, get yourself subscribed. But until next time, take it easy.